Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and we're going to be continuing with year number 5 in this one for our Miami Marlins Rebuild in MLB The Show 18. And right away, I apologize for the lack of consistency and the amount of time between each upload lately that I've been doing. I know it's been quite a while since the last time I uploaded a video, but with the holidays and some other things going on, and then I got sick. If you can tell from my voice, it's a little bit hoarse, a little deep. Things just got a little crazy there, so I really was struggling to find time to do this. But I'm back, I'm able to talk, my cough isn't here, so I can actually get through this video without coughing your ear off. So yeah, we're back, we're ready to go, and we're going to jump in, like I said, to season number 5 with the Marlins. And another thing I wanted to bring up, I do want to switch up the structure of the videos a little bit moving forwards, as we lost a relief pitcher. No one important, okay. I do want to try to make these videos a little bit shorter, so I might be doing 2 to 3 videos per season, depending on how much we do and how long the video actually turns out to be. But we'll probably be breaking it up maybe through the starting at the off season through the draft, then maybe from right after the draft through the end of the year, and then depending on how long the video goes, or if we make a playoff spot, the playoffs could be a third video to the season, or like I said, depending on how long the video is, they might be part of the second video. But I do want to split them up into shorter segments, just probably because I feel like it might be easier for anyone watching to watch, and I might be able to get them out a little bit quicker. Another thing is we're going to be switching up how we do this. I don't want to make it so much of a cookie cut, where I go to one screen and I tell you guys what I did, and then I go to the next screen and I tell you guys what I did. It just feels a little too scripted for me doing that, and I'd like to move away from it just a little bit. So what we're going to be doing, like we've started to do right now, is I'm kind of going to be walking through it with you guys, and if there's a point where it's a lot of figuring something out, and maybe when I'm doing the contracts, tendering up the contracts, we might skip over that and then bring you up to speed real quickly once I'm finished with it. But for the most part, I kind of want to just walk you through this and talk through it, instead of just, jumping from screen to screen, like I said. So hopefully that works moving forward. Hopefully you guys are on board with that. And I appreciate it to everyone who's still watching, who, since I haven't uploaded in quite some time. But let's jump into this already, because I've been talking too much in the beginning here. But going into the roster here to get started, just to kind of go over and see where we left off, because it has been quite a while for me, potentially quite a while for you guys as well. I know we finished the season last year winning the division. We made a quick appearance in the playoffs, but I think it was 88 games. I actually had it written down that we won. So this team is a team that is capable of winning now, and really looking to win the division again. If not the division, make a a wild card spot. So, we want to keep this team relevant. The main problem is with the budget and the player salaries, and we're really, really tight right now, really close to the very, I don't know what word I'm trying to use here. There's really not a lot of space left, and if we want to bring in players to help improve the team, we're not going to be able to do that. So what we're going to be looking to do here throughout the offseason is probably look to trade a few of the players for various reasons, as well as not bring certain guys back. So starting off with the rotation, it's a pretty strong rotation in my opinion. And we even have a guy like Bridwell here, who can very easily slide into that number 5 spot in the rotation if we don't have, or if we lose one of these guys. But my thinking is we might look to trade Waka, who I know just won the Cy Young, and he had a really good season. But because he is making $11 million, it's a little high for my liking. Regardless of how good the player is, just based off of the budget. So, he's someone that probably could be able to get us back a decent package. Not necessarily prospects, or not all prospects, but some solid players that, preferably wouldn't be too expensive. So we may look to trade him. We might look to trade either Heaney or Garcia. I'm not really sure about that just yet. But again, like if we lose Waka, or if we lose, one or two guys here, we can only bring back one starting pitcher, for example. I'm very comfortable having Bridwell fill in that number 5 spot in the rotation moving forward. For the bullpen, we got Alvarado and Jimenez that I'm pretty comfortable with. I'm looking to keep Green most likely as well. Guerrero and Steckenrider are two guys that I'm a little unsure about. I may look to move them this offseason, and Fields is someone who's a little bit older who we probably won't bring back. Though one guy down here in the depth area of our relief pitching is Miguel Del Pozo, who has been on the team, I think, the entire rebuild that we've done. I'm really not sure if I signed him to begin with or not, but that doesn't matter right now. But, he's someone who I think can do a good job in the bullpen. So one spot could be filled by him, but definitely we need to go out and probably bring in 1 to 2 relief pitchers, depending on what we can find, whether it be through free agency or through trade. Minter, of course, is going to be the back end of that bullpen. Very solid closer for us. Catching, I think we're pretty good with. We can probably put one of these guys on the 40-man roster and drop Caleb Joseph, maybe get another catcher just as depth, who, a low-rated guy just to kind of fill out the organizational depth. And maybe even trade one of these guys to get a solid player in return as well. First base, we're probably looking to move on from both guys, so we're going to need a first baseman. I know we have Diaz, but again, I don't think he's quite ready just yet to be on the Major League roster. So we're not really looking for a really good first baseman, but we're looking for a guy who can hold his own and hold that spot for Diaz. Hopefully he can improve a little bit more and be ready by the next season. Moving on from there, we got Hernandez, who... I didn't realize when we traded for him that he was in the first year of a 4-year deal. I also didn't pay attention to the salary for some reason, or I don't remember looking at it, which was a huge mistake. I can't even remember if he played well for us down the stretch, but, he was a solid player last year. Excuse me. But, with the salary, and he's already declining a little bit, he is someone who, in my experience, has tended to decline at a slightly earlier age. So I'm not really sure how much he's going to decline and how soon. So we're probably going to be looking to move on from him, probably be able to get a few guys back in a trade for him. Yeah, probably Hernandez is going to be gone by next season. Seager and Jerko are most likely gone as well. Mostly due to age for Seager, and Jerko is also declining. If I would say we could bring him back as a bench piece if his salary isn't, too high that he wants, but I'm looking at his hitting stats, and some of them are taking a hit. So I'm not really sure that would be a good idea. So we'll have to see about that. But we're gonna keep Robertson, of course, and Drury. I like both of those guys in our Major League roster. And then for the outfield, we got Reddick, who we're going to look to move on from. He's really declining quite a bit. I know he still got the 94 contact versus righties, but he is going to continue to decline quite a bit, and I really don't want to pay him the salary that he has, which really isn't that high. But again, for this team, we want to save as much money as possible and put it into guys that we're more confident in moving forward, that are going to help this team get back to the playoffs. Tomas, we're most likely going to hold on to maybe a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal. We may trade Mesa or Harrison, one or the other, depending on if I feel it's a good idea or not, or what we can get back, or if they help out a trade or whatnot. But aside from that, I think the outfield's pretty set. I'm pretty happy with Anderson still. Renfroe, I think, could get more playing time this season. And Kirilloff potentially could be a nice piece here, whether he's a starting outfielder or more likely a bench piece or fourth outfielder for us. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that front. We're going to head into the exclusive free agents here. Again, Fields we're probably not going to bring back. Probably not going to bring back Seager, Bohr, Jerko. None of those guys are guys that we're going to bring back. Joseph, Rojas, he's a decent bench bat, but with the $2 million salary, I'm probably not going to sign him either. So we're losing quite a few guys here, which is not good, but you know, we're going to sign a few guys in free agency, and we're going to look to trade a couple guys. So we should be okay. I just kind of have to go through this carefully and make sure I'm doing the right moves here and not, you know, mess up the roster too much. So we're going to sign Tomas here to a 2-year deal? 1-year deal? 2-year deal probably. We can push it up to $6 million, I think is okay. And then Drury we're going to re-sign as well, probably to a 2-year deal too. Oh, he's a free agent, that's right. So 1, 2 years, 4, 9, 6. It should be good. Yeah, everyone else we're going to let go. So we're going to sim through a few days, see if those two guys re-signed. They did, so we got Tomas and Drury set for the team for next season. We're going to say goodbye to all those other guys on that screen. They will not be coming back. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through some of the major players on the team through arbitration and the tender contracts. But I'm not going to, you know, sit here and go through all of them because that will take a little bit of time. So for the arbitration, we got Lamet, Garcia, and Faria in the starting pitching. Lamet, of course, we want back. He wants $5 million, so we'll probably offer him that. I'm not really sure about when we offer these guys arbitration, whether or not to just go with what they want or whether we can get away with a lower salary. I know it kind of depends a little bit on their performance. But yeah, that's something I'm not really sure about. So if anybody knows, feel free to let me know. You know, usually what I do is I see what they're looking for, and that's pretty much what I offer, or what I put it at. And I really shouldn't be doing this, should I? Because we need to figure out the budget if we want to bring in some guys. We want to have a set budget as soon as possible. You know what? We're going to offer them deals then. Just 1 year for now. So we're going to offer them deals. He wants... Okay, 5.2? You know, you didn't really have a good year, Lamet, so I'm a little worried about giving you too much money there. So 3.9, 4.1... Seems like they all should get an extra 200K to be happy. So 2.9 went too far there. We'll give him 3. Relievers, we got Alvarado, 2.8. So we'll set that up. Another thing that I wanted to say, which now that I've started to say it, I completely forgot. I'm sorry. When I remember it, I'll let you guys know. But back to the contracts here. Alvarado 2.8. We're going to push that up to 3? 2.9. We'll also offer him arbitration. He wanted 2.8, that's right. 2.8, he gets a little increase there. Jimenez wants 2.7. Alright, so we'll put that down. We'll knock it up to 2.8 as well, but he wants 2.7. So his went down a little bit, even though he had a solid year compared to the year prior. Alright, that doesn't make sense. We are going to offer Steckenrider a contract for 1 year just so that we can probably trade him, because without a contract, we can't trade him. And I don't want to release him because I feel we might be able to get something back for him. But then there's Green here, who is 2.5 mil. 2.6 should be good. And arbitration, 2.5. Okay. Moving on, we got Minter, who of course we want back. He's been a pretty solid closer for us, for the most part. I know he had, what, one bad year, I think? Yeah, here in 2019. But he's bounced back, gotten better every year. So I'm really liking him. That was a nice pickup for us earlier on in the rebuild. So 3.4 he wants. So let's see. 3.6. We'll offer him arbitration 3.4. Will Smith wants... He's already in arbitration. Jeez, 2.6. 2.7. 2.6. 2.7. We'll go with 2.7. Arbitration 2.6. The only reason I'm still doing the arbitration is I'm nervous that they might not take the contract that we offer them, and then we'll have to look for a replacement, which I wasn't, prepared to do. So I know it's taking a little bit longer, but that's really the only reason why I'm offering them both here. I think he said 3.7. And then Cuthbert, we'll re-sign Cuthbert as a depth piece, someone that we can always use if we need someone. 1.2. Everybody else, we got Anderson in right field, who wants 4.7, which is pretty good. Okay, so put that up, and then we got Hunter Renfroe, who's 3.5 he wants. Should work. Offer arbitration. There we go. Okay. Tender contracts. So we got guys like Bridwell. All the guys that aren't on the 40-man roster, the Major League roster, we're gonna bring back. We're not really gonna drop anyone there in these in the contract screens here. We're gonna offer pretty much everyone a contract, so we can kind of just do the guys here that are on the roster, and then we'll skip over the rest, and I'll meet you guys back once we've finished that. But we'll continue this here. We're gonna re-sign all these guys. $840K for Lopez. We'll kind of go through I'll go through the rest without you guys having to watch me do that. Del Pozo, we're gonna put him on the 40-man roster, so I do want to increase his salary so that it doesn't take away from his overall rating. What did I just do? No. Eliezer Hernandez, 5'10". Let's get that down to 5'10". And then Guerrero, again, just like Steckenrider, we want to offer him a contract so that we can, look to get something back for him and not just release him and not get anything back for him. We want to make use of all of our players as much as possible. We got Blaine Miles, 780. We might look to, depending on which guy here. I want to put one of them on the 40-man roster, and I'm not really sure which to put on it. We know Rogers is kind of like the best fielder. Amaya's pretty good. Banfield's a little bit lower fielding-wise. But Banfield seems to potentially be... Well, he's better than Rogers offensively, and Amaya. We'll probably go with Amaya. Put Amaya on the 40-man roster, which means I'm going to the wrong screen here. We want to raise his salary as well so that he's okay with it. So 520, and then of course Jake Rogers and Will Banfield. We got Cooper, who I'm not really sure if we want to trade him or what. We've lost quite a bit of players to free agency that we didn't re-sign, so we'll try to use some of these guys in trades if possible. So we'll re-sign Cooper, 5'10". Vinicio, we still have as a bench piece, 580 he wants. Of course, Rivera, 5'10". I can do 5'10". We got Sheldon Noose. Did he play? He still hasn't played yet. He's 27. God. Maybe he'll get a chance to play this year. Who knows? 720. He wants 720. So, we got that. Moving to the outfield, we got Mesa, 850, and Harrison wants 550. And then Kirilloff is the last guy, so 800. Alright, so I'm going to go through this and just kind of offer everyone else a contract and get that all set up. And I'll probably go in and look to see, look for potential trades. When we get back, we'll go over anyone that I'm looking to potentially get in free agency. And you know, I won't sit here and go through searching for the trades, but I'll meet you guys at that screen just to kind of go over that really briefly. So yeah, I'll meet you back at the free agency screen in just a moment after I set up these contracts. So the contracts are all set. Everybody was offered one. So moving on from that, we're going into free agency, and the areas that we're really looking to target here, you know, we have to be careful with the budget, but we want to look to see if we can get a reliever, if not multiple relievers, potentially a first baseman, or probably a first baseman, depending on what's here, potentially a second baseman, and an outfield bat if we can find one. Again, the salary really limits us. It's not something I'm used to in the past. I've always tended to keep the trades on, no forced trades, but keep the budget off. And even though I kind of try to stick to it as best as I can, it's a lot different when the budget is, you know, the budget's still on. So I'm trying to be realistic, but it's tough. It is tough. So yeah, let's see what's available in the relief market. I do want to look to get someone who's, you know, not trending down, not too old, and with some solid attributes. I'm very wary of what's his name, Robles. Being a Mets fan, I don't trust him. I don't trust him on the mound. Not really sure. We also want to look for a guy who's not really gonna, I don't know if I said this, not gonna, you know, have a high salary. How much does Flynn want, just to get a sense? 5.5. Actually, I don't mind him that much, but 5.5 might be a little on the high side for a reliever. Because I think, let's look at our budget actually. We got 55.7 in pending offers, and we already have 39 million on the books. So what is that? 55 and 30. It's almost $95 million that we already have on the books. I know we're going to be looking to trade someone, but right now, you know, we have to pretend like we have $95 million on the books. So what am I doing? Go back to free agency. And so, you know, Flynn looks like a decent relief pitcher to pick up, but I'm just not sure about it right now. Maybe Vincent? He wants 2.6. I like his attributes as well, but he's trending down, and he's 35, so he's likely to continue to trend down, which is not what we're looking for either. Closing pitchers is probably going to be more expensive. I wouldn't mind getting Claudio, but 7 million's a little high. Parker, I don't know. He's a little older. You know, Claudio would be a nice pickup. He's going to be less expensive than Vasquez. Not by much, but, you know, we'll see. We'll come back to that. What else? First base, we have... A lot of these guys are older. I really don't want that. What about Adams? He's trending up. He's a decent bat to have. How much does he want? Let's look to sign him. 1.8 should be good for 1 year, unless we push it up. I don't know. I don't want anybody else to get him if we want to get him. You know, we'll stick with 1.8. Second base, Wong wants 8.5. I don't have that. A lot of these guys are a little bit older. He wants 4.2, but he's trending down quite a bit. I don't understand why Jeanette always tends to really take a turn downwards pretty early on. I don't understand that. I don't get some of these trends with the development or the decline in certain players. Don't need a third. What's the other? The outfield bat. Trying to see how much does he 6.7, so they're gonna be high too. 4.6. I don't want the shields. They're gonna be too expensive. How much does he want? 6.2, 6.7. I didn't offer, no. I don't want Taylor. I don't want Rosario. What about right field? Ooh, Gonzalez. Is he trending? No, he's trending up. Wait, how much does he want? I could do that. I'm good with that. So 1 year, no, 1 year, 2 years? 2 years. 2 years. 2 years for 7.5 in a platoon role. Hopefully he accepts that. Actually, no, we'll leave it for now. I didn't see a second baseman that I was happy with because these guys are going to cost some money. A lot of them are older as well. Jeanette's trending downwards, so there's not a lot of options here. So who did we offer? Gonzalez and Adams, and then we want to offer a deal to Claudio, who's 30 years old, so that's going to be age 30 season, 31, 32, 33. What did he want? Did he want a 4? He wanted a 5-year deal. I don't want to go to 5 years on him. We're probably going to do 4 player option and push it up a little bit. 28.5. Let's try that. Hopefully these guys are going to accept these offers. You know, we definitely want to look to make some trades as well, like I said. So let's actually sim a little bit. Okay, do we sign anywhere? Resign, just sign. I just want to see sign. Sign Marwin Gonzalez. And that's it. Alright. Do the other guys have any offers aside from us? No, they do not. Okay, so we got Claudio on the 4-year deal. And hopefully we signed... did we not sign Adams yet? Adams, what are you doing? You're not going to get a better offer, I promise. The Pirates are interested in the trade. Lolo Sanchez. I'm not looking to make any trades like that. They're kind of pointless to make. Moving on. Did we sign... What's his name? Adams. Yes. Okay, I think we did. Yes, we signed Matt Adams. So we got the guys that we wanted to get. So that's good. Who hasn't... Okay, so a couple guys still haven't accepted. What I want to do is look to see what we can get for Waka. I don't mind receiving some prospects, but I do want to get some major league ready players. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through this because it's probably going to take me forever to go through this. And we will cut, and I will be right back if I can find anything that's potentially worth doing, even if we have to put someone else in this trade from our side. So, yeah, I will be right back, and we will go over the potential trade of Michael Wacha. Alright, so change of plans. We're not trading Wacha just yet. But what we can do is receive a good relief pitcher in Jonathan Holder, who's rated 81. I really like his attributes, especially that walks per 9. He potentially can be a really nice piece out of the pen. And that could at least, you know, set up our bullpen already for next season, unless we look to bring in another guy. But again, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm really liking Del Pozo as a potential internal piece to fill in that last spot in the bullpen, which is, you know, what we can do. So with Holder, we got our 2 relievers in Holder and Claudio. And then we're also going to pick up Urshela just so that we can get this trade to go through and get another piece back, because the budgetary constrictions, I guess, for the Yankees, wasn't able to do Holder for Hernandez, which could have been perfect, would have worked perfectly. But to get the trade to go through, of course, once adding in Urshela, we're going to add in Rivera on our side and Noose, so that Noose can get a chance to play every day, hopefully, for the Yankees. But this is going to be the first trade that we make. It does clear up a bit of salary, a little bit under $5 million, so it gives us a little bit more room to work with. So that's good. So overall, I think this is a good trade for us. You know, we do need to find a second baseman. So again, I'm gonna look for a trade, maybe for a second baseman somewhere, one that's not too expensive for Waka, or at least as the main piece back for Waka. And I'll meet you guys back at this screen once I find a potential trade. Okay, so we are trading Michael Waka this time, and we're going to be trading him to the Diamondbacks. We're going to be getting John Duplantier, however you say it. Not potential. I guess we're going to have him in the rotation, but we're also getting Tanaka in case he doesn't really perform. I'm a little worried about putting him in the rotation just because he's a prospect who's been coming up and they tend to struggle a bit. But you know, he's got some decent attributes, and each year he's been getting better and better. So you know, he could potentially be good for us. And Tanaka is a solid starter that we know would be able to perform. At least we hope would be able to continue to perform for us. Yeah, we're going to be including him in the deal as well. And to fill second base, we were going to go with Jake Lamb, but just based off of his salary, and it was a little difficult. It was a little too much to ask from the Diamondbacks in terms of what we could give back. But Marte has a pretty solid rating versus in both contacts. He's a solid fielder. I am a little worried right now looking at this because there's a lot of negative ones there. But he is still trending up. He's only got one more year until free agency, so it's just going to be a one-year deal, if anything. But I do think this is going to work for us. And of course, we're trading Waka. We're moving Steckenrider, who I wanted to move. I just do not trust him in the bullpen. And moving on from Josh Reddick as well. So this is going to be the second trade that we make. And again, hopefully put us in a better spot moving forward. And, you know, just take a look at the roster. What are we working with here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 starters. So we may be able to trade. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here exactly. We got Faria. We might want to look to trade one of these guys. Maybe a... How old is he? He's 29. Heaney's 30. Wait, so lefty, righty, 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 righty. We might look to trade Garcia or Heaney, depending on what we can get back for them. You know, hopefully Faria... I'm a little worried because I'm worried that Faria is going to take a step backwards moving forwards, but... You know, maybe we look to move Heaney. He does... I think he has a $5 million contract, yeah. So... We'll probably look to move him and... what's his name? Guerrero as well. And see what we can get back for them. So I will look for that trade, and I'll meet you guys back at the screen in just a second. Alright, so this is going to be the third trade that we make, and probably the last one. Now, there are no needs really that I'm looking at that I see on our roster. So this is kind of just getting a decent deal, a couple prospects, a guy that could potentially be a bench piece for us in Gurriel Jr. at second base. You know, we really don't have a lot of space, but I guess him over Vinicio or Shella could work. I do want Drury on the roster. But yeah, so we're going to be getting Gurriel Jr., and then we're also going to be getting a prospect in Julio Garcia, who's 20B potential. Pretty decent offensive stats, at least versus lefties. Definitely needs to work on the fielding, though. And then, of course, we're going to be also picking up Rowdy Tellez, who is a B potential. He's 27, a bit older. In real life, he's already been in the majors a little bit this past season. But, you know, just a depth piece at first base. And then we're going to be trading away Andrew Heaney and Tyrone Guerrero. You know, and we should be set. I'm pretty happy with what the roster looks like at this point. It's a little crowded in certain areas, like up the middle on the infield. But, you know, I'm pretty happy, like I said, with where we are. So we have Lamet, Tanaka, Garcia, Faria, and Duplantier. Bridwell as the sixth man in case we need him to come up and take over. Then, of course, we got these guys down here as you know, I guess, backup depth pieces. Reliefs, what? In relievers, we have Alvarado, Jimenez, Holder, Green, Del Pozo, who I want to try out in the bullpen. Hernandez, Mejia, and Ruiz are all guys that could come up and play a part. And then, of course, we have Minter and Claudio. Catching, we have Miles and Smith. We'll probably add Amaya to the 40-man roster. First base, we have Adams. I guess Cooper could also play first base. They could maybe platoon, though I think they're both... No, they could actually platoon if we have room for a platoon. We'll see. But we got Cooper and Adams. Diaz, of course, is down there, almost ready to be on the Major League team. We might have to add him to the 40-man roster, though. We're at 35. Yeah, let's add him to the 40-man roster. We got Marte at second, of course, Gurriel Jr. and Vinicio behind him. Robertson at third. Urshela and Drury are there as well. Cuthbert's there even. Shortstop, we could definitely be adding Nicky Lopez to the roster, but it's so crowded already that we're not going to. And then in the outfield, we have Tomas, Anderson, Renfroe, Gonzalez, and Kirilloff, with Mesa and Harrison kind of as backup options. Okay, so let's just finish simming through this off season. You know, I can't remember what I started to try to say to you guys earlier on in the video. I feel like it was something, but it just left my head. But yeah, so we're pretty much good. We'll fix up spring training. So overall, where are we? We're not much better, apparently. I don't know. We'll see how things go here. You know, that could be from the guys that we have on the roster right now that aren't going to make it, pulling it down a little bit. But, you know, we'll see once we hit the regular season how good we actually are. But, you know, I'm pretty confident that we have a pretty solid team here. You know, we have Lamet, Garcia, Faria, all in the rotation. Tanaka has dropped a little bit. Bridwell, what happened to Duplay? What? Why are you? You're not in the bullpen. Okay, you're not in the bullpen. So we got a bunch of guys here for the rotation that are solid. We have a solid bullpen at this point. One that I'm very happy with. We brought in Claudio, of course. Good catchers. We got a potential platoon. At least we have Adams playing first for us, who's a solid bat. We have Marte, or I guess Gurriel, playing second. We've already gone through this, though. I'm pretty happy with where we are. Robertson and Drury, even Urshela. And then the outfield, we're pretty set in the outfield as well. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty set for where we are, I think. You know, looking forward to starting this season. Hopefully we can continue to doing what we were doing the past year, and get back to the playoffs, potentially win the division, at least a wild card. That is our goal. But yeah, we'll see how things go when we continue. And until the next video, until we get into the regular season, I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry it took so long to upload another video. I'll try to be a lot quicker with it this next time. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well, as I said, and I will see you guys pretty soon.